the impact of childhood abuse it's manifold, and it is shattering, and it is schismatic. It's one of those things that you don't realize until you're 4 years into therapy, how many facets of your life have been affected, whether it is just self-regulation and my emotional regulations, whether it is anger issues, resolving anger issues, whether it is eating disorders, numbing behaviors, poor coping mechanisms, the fact that every time I look, I'm hypersensitive to light, sound, and the people around me. And I am great to hire if you need somebody to take care of your HD broadcast, or if you need a handler, or make sure everything's right on stage for the broadcast. But it's hard in real life to deal with these things. When you're disconnected completely from your body, because you've learned the gifts that God had given you to cope in dissociation, denial, and other things. So, we're still unearthing those dead bodies.
And it's very difficult to actually boil a number of years of working through this into a radio interview. But Absolutely. I did want to ask you, what has God taught you as far as what a key to experiencing his healing would be?
A key? There's so much. I would say, for me, the key to the kingdom is forgiveness. That's first and foremost for those who have done you wrong, and those who stood by and watched and allowed it to happen. For those who offered you up, I truly, as we have been forgiven much, we are to forgive others. Yeah. How much shaken, stirred, when we distill it down, I suppose, to everything, I think that the true forgiveness in the knowledge of the truth and love of Christ, of what really happened, this isn't the cover-up. This isn't putting more makeup on and trying to make it look right. It's actually getting down to beauty-based zero to know what it is you're dealing with, and seeing that Jesus Christ has been with you through the valley of the shadow of death. He's never left you. He's never forsaken you. And my job now is simply I go first. I'll tell you my hard story, my messy story, so that maybe somebody else will feel that they're not so alone, that there's hope inside the church, that the church is the hope of the world, that Christ is the hope of the world.
But in order for the church to be able to minister to you, you have to let the church in. And that can be difficult when you have people that say they've been wounded by the church. So how do you develop that vulnerability to allow others in to really see you how God desires for them to see you?
I love that question, Bob. I would say we have to develop safe circles of accountability inside of our spheres of influence. And we've seen this recently with all of the titans falling, the leadership of the church. The idea is that how can we be accountable if we don't have safe circles? If there aren't places where there's no judgment, if there aren't places where there's truth and love. And so for me, I look at it, and as an elder's wife, as a leader inside of the church, I had my inner circles, my safe couple, and you give a little, and you see how they do with a little bit of the truth. And equally, I am the safe circle for many leaders. You have to be a safe person, I think, sometimes in order to be able to find the safe people.